This is my ring light.
Hi, I'm Chaffin, and you are at Pop Robot TBI.
Hello, I'm Celia.
So today we are going to talk about percentages of where we are at. Just as a reminder, we talk about percentages to help us figure out where we're at that day in terms of brain capacity, body capacity, emotional capacity, mental capacity, all of those things to help us figure out if we should do more activity, less activity, more self-care, can we push through, all those things. So Celia, are you up for going first?
All the capacities.
All the capacities.
Sure, I will attempt this. I think I'm at, what was I at last week, or recently, in the 50s? I think I'm at 90% now.
Yeah, you just jumped from 50 to 90 in a week. True healing.
I just came from yoga, so I have all this energy right now. I think I'm at 58%. I'm feeling really good.
Okay, so then what does 58% mean for you?
It means that I'm able to do a few things today. And I'm going to still take my rests, but I don't anticipate as much suffering, as much brain pain. So yeah, I'm kind of on a high of feeling pretty good.
Nice. Okay. Anything else to add?
Yeah, I was wanting to tell you this before. I think that once we get to I don't know, maybe 90%, we should set a goal okay, once we get to 90%, that we have this dream vacation that we go on together.
Heck yes, I fully support this.
I don't know where, but something fun. So it's once we're at 90%. So I'm at 58, so it's I'm getting pretty close. So
that is exciting. Yeah, to think about it in terms of when you hit that, and it's not just you hit it for a day, you get the average 90%, then
yeah.
Fun to dream about the things we'll be able to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Celia and I, we've been trying to get better at thinking about our visions for the future of when we don't have the concussion, what we'll be doing. So I'm now going to add in this trip that we're going to go on when we're average 90, but things that we think about and to just help our brain move forward and to not necessarily yeah, we're dealing with the present, but getting so wrapped up in the present is tough. So dreaming about the future, it just brings hope and it actually helps our brain look for those hopeful things and move towards those hopeful things. It's called the reticular activating system. When you see a red car and you're oh, that's a red car, and you start noticing red cars, your brain is oh, high alert, look for red cars everywhere. So it's kind of the same thing with dreaming about a future where we don't have TBIs. It helps our brain start looking for those things and really helping us have that more positive perspective. Celia, how has that played out in your life?
It makes a huge difference. I can't really think of a specific example right now, but anytime I can switch my mindset into that positive thinking, things definitely shift. So
yeah. Okay, I got one. I used to envision myself going into a bookstore and actually being able to hang out in the bookstore and not getting overwhelmed. And I literally did that this week and last week for an hour and did not get overwhelmed. And it was I walked out and you, Celia, were you got to be grateful. Remember the gratitude. And I was hit with the, oh my gosh, this is what I've been envisioning for so long. And I just did it. So
wow.
Awesome. That was very exciting. But all those or all the times that I was thinking about going into a bookstore, I was excited about it, but there's also some sadness of okay, I'm not there yet. But then when it finally happened, it was oh, I'm doing this. And it wasn't a huge deal. And then after I left, it was holy cow, I just did that.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Yeah, that's happened to me for sure. And that's I'll finish doing something and I'm oh my gosh, I just did that thing and I didn't melt on the floor. And it happened. I don't know. It's so exciting.
Yeah, I love that. So, okay, so going back to the percentages thing. Yeah, so the importance of just thinking about when we're at another percentage in the future, 90% other things to dream about. I love that.
I was never really an A student though, so maybe we go on a trip like at 85%. Just kidding.
Honestly, I'm like, if I get to 80%, I'm living the golden life.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding.
Okay, so my percentage, I think I'm at 50% today. I have been at 60%, and I have really been enjoying 60% and doing a lot of things. And yesterday I went to the bookstore, and then I did so many things that normally are very overwhelming, and they weren't overwhelming. But then this morning I woke up and I was like, wow, my brain really hurts. Like, why does it hurt? And then I remembered yesterday was like it was probably a 60% day, but I acted like it was a 65% day. And so I'm paying for it today with a 10% reduction. So I'm able to still do things like health coaching, go on walks and all that, but I've definitely, I'm having to rest more. I'm a lot more tired. I've had to stop and do physical therapy almost every hour. Not like intense physical therapy, just like some exercises here and there. Yeah, that's my percentages.
I will say, so yesterday I did a lot, and I ended up like hitting a wall and just kind of like laid on my bed and was like, oh my gosh, I just completely broke myself. Forgetting what I'm saying.
You broke yourself.
Oh, yeah, I broke myself. That's right. I was totally broken. That's what I was trying to tell you. Okay, but the point is that I recovered. I'm not sure how quickly, but pretty quickly. And that is huge progress. So
yeah, that's huge.
I don't know how that mathematically factors into the percent, but it's got to be at least a few percent points.
Yeah, it's just so nice to now that we're not like, we have really good moments and good days, but what is so funny?
I'm laughing because I forgot what I was saying. I'm like, what was I saying? You're like, you were saying you were broken.
You were just giving us proof that
this is very authentic. It's authentic footage.
Real.
This is real.
Yeah, I don't even remember what I was saying. So yeah, okay, so we can recover from high, we have the high percentages, and then we can get overwhelmed, but now we can recover really quickly. Like, can go from 60 or 50 to 30, and then suddenly within an hour we can be back up to like 45, 50. That's huge, because it used to not be that way. It used to be weeks or months. Like, it used to take me months to recover.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I'm like, a part of me wants to avoid, I just had a fear come in, because when I went on that boat and then I was broken for setback for a month.
Yeah.
So it's we're going about our lives, how do we, what's gonna be, this is not positive thinking, but what's the next thing that's gonna surprise me and break me for a month?
Yeah. I mean, that's a legit fear. I have that fear too.
Because we try to be careful or cautious and mindful with what we do, but at the same time we are pushing ourselves every single day.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's just part of the thing, part of the experience. And that's okay. It's okay, because when you get knocked down, then you go back to lesson learning mode, and that is a gift in itself.
Yeah. I remember I was so afraid. I had to do this test for my doctor, and it was going to be a really challenging test. And I was so, physically, brain-wise, all that. I was so afraid of it. I mean, I was this was back in December, traumatic moments where I would shut down and just start crying, and it would just hit me in waves just randomly. So I was so afraid. As I was imagining the worst case scenario. And I mean, worst case scenario, I could have had months and months and months of setbacks. What I thought was going to happen, I thought I was going to have a horrible month of a setback. Guess what? I did. It happened. But I was okay. And like, I still had beautiful moments in that setback. And I can look back now and I see that as I take note every day of my percentage to help me know where I was and be able to keep track of everything.
And that's what I did.
All right. I have like, I had a lot of moments of tears and sadness, but I also had good moments, excuse me, good moments of growth and like prosperity in what I could do during that time. So even if setbacks happen, like we can be, I think it wastes our energy to be worried about them because I think they're honestly inevitable. Unfortunately, that's just like a part of growth and growing. So I'm trying to allow myself to feel the fear if I need to, but not stay in the fear. It's like if I need to cry, it's like grieving the known of the inevitable of like, okay, I'm gonna have a setback. But at the same time, not focusing on that, instead shifting my perspective after I've felt those feelings, like shifting my perspective to believing there's still going to be good things from this. I'm still going to grow. I'm still going to be okay. And I'm going to bounce back. And I'm probably going to bounce back way faster after having past setbacks. How does that hit you?
That was really nicely said.
Thanks. Cool. All right. Anything else to add for percentages? Okay. Peace out.